General Hospital Monday recap. Willow uses Scout to force Alexis to take her custody case. Port Charles woke up Monday morning under a cloud of quiet tension, the kind that settles in when secrets are about to detonate. By nightfall, alliances had shifted, lines were crossed, and one woman made a calculated move that left even the sharpest legal mind in town with no choice but to get involved. Willow had reached the end of her patience. For weeks, she'd tried to do things the right way, staying calm, trusting the system, believing that fairness would prevail. But every conversation about custody felt like a door slamming shut in her face. The legal process moved too slowly, and the stakes were far too high. This wasn't about pride or winning an argument. This was about her child, her future, and the growing fear that she could lose everything if she didn't act now. Alexis Davis, however, wanted nothing to do with the case. Burned out from years of courtroom battles and deeply protective of her fragile peace, Alexis had made it clear she wasn't interested in stepping back into another emotional war zone. Custody cases were messy, personal, and never truly ended when the verdict was read. She had said no, firmly, repeatedly. Willow heard that no and chose to reinterpret it as not yet. Instead of pushing harder herself, Willow made a bold and controversial choice. She involved Scout. Scout, innocent and observant, had a way of disarming adults without even trying. Willow didn't manipulate her with lies or pressure. Instead, she allowed the truth to surface naturally. A quiet conversation, a gentle explanation about families, fear, and the possibility of being separated from someone you love. Scout listened, her questions simple but piercing, her concern genuine. Later that day, Scout took those worries straight to Alexis. What started as an offhand comment turned into a moment that cracked Alexis's emotional armor. Scout spoke about fairness, about wanting people she loved to be safe, and about how scary it felt when grown-ups couldn't fix things. Alexis recognized the tone immediately, the same one her own daughters had once used when they were afraid but trying to be brave. That was Willow's leverage. When Alexis finally confronted Willow, the tension between them was electric. Alexis accused her of crossing a line, of dragging a child into an adult fight. Willow didn't deny it. She owned the decision, calmly but unapologetically. She explained that she had run out of options, that every polite request had been ignored, and that desperation had forced her hand. What stunned Alexis wasn't the strategy, it was Willow's honesty. There was no smug satisfaction, no victory lap, just a mother standing her ground, admitting she'd do anything to protect her child. Alexis saw herself reflected in that resolve, and it unsettled her more than any legal argument ever could. Across town, reactions rippled outward. Michael sensed something was off the moment Willow didn't back down from a tense phone call. He worried that pushing Alexis might backfire, especially given Alexis's complicated history with power and control. Still, he couldn't deny that Willow's determination was rooted in love, not ambition. Meanwhile, whispers began circulating. Some saw Willow's move as brilliant, using emotional truth rather than courtroom theatrics. Others labeled it reckless, even unethical. In Port Charles, moral judgments spread faster than facts, and Willow quickly became the subject of hushed conversations and raised eyebrows. Alexis spent the evening wrestling with her conscience. She poured a drink she barely touched, replaying Scout's words in her mind. This wasn't about being manipulated, it was about being reminded of why she became a lawyer in the first place, not for wins, not for headlines, but to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. By the next morning, Alexis made her decision. She showed up, no announcement, no dramatic flourish, just a quiet, unmistakable presence that said everything. When Willow saw her, relief and guilt collided on her face. Alexis didn't offer reassurance or forgiveness. She simply stated the terms. She would take the case, but she would do it her way, with strict boundaries and no more surprises involving children. Willow agreed without hesitation. The stage is now set for a custody battle that promises to expose old wounds, test loyalties, and force every player to confront uncomfortable truths. Alexis stepping in shifts the balance of power, but it also puts her back in emotional territory she swore she'd never revisit. And Willow? She may have won this round, but in Port Charles, every victory comes with consequences. As Monday closed, one thing was clear. This case isn't just about who gets custody. It's about how far a mother is willing to go, how much a lawyer is willing to sacrifice, and whether the ends truly justify the means. In General Hospital, the real trials don't always happen in court. They unfold in the quiet moments that change everything.